will try to keep on time and to make it in 10 minutes. So I will try to summarize the amicus trial story, which is quite a long story, since now 10 years at least, for the development of this new trial. First of all, here are my disclosures. I also show you my hospital because I forget yesterday to present you Raymond Poincaré Hospital and my neuromuscular unit, and email address if you want to reach me. So we are dealing in this first session with several important next generation ERT trials. I summarize in this slide these three main trials that are ongoing. The NeoGEA avalglucosidase alpha trial will be presented by Benedict. The amicus trials, I will present you now this story, and Valerian enzyme therapy. So you can see here that there is a huge development in the field of ERT, and it's really a great time for these trials. Sorry. So as you can see, there is a real competition between these trials. I also included in this slide the gene therapy. You can see that the NeoGEA is the first at this moment concerning the inclusion, followed by Valerian and Amicus, and the gene therapy are arriving very soon. And maybe we can bet what will be the winner, but perhaps there will be more than one winner. So again, a very exciting period for these new treatments. And now the new star are the chaperones. And the main interest, one of the main interests of the Amicus project is the combination of a chaperone with a next generation enzyme therapy. And the chaperone protein are well known by biochemists. I am not a biochemist. These are proteins that helps the synthesis but also the degradation and enzyme, and this is very important, with several functions that I summarize in these slides. They are localized in the air, and they are a role to help to the conformation process of the enzyme, but also for the degradation, linking to the proteasome degradation, and they act with a reversible competitive inhibitors function, and this is very important, you will see. And in the first step of this trial, there were some negative effects of these chaperones. I show you this other scheme from a biochemical paper that describe the mechanism of the chaperones. They can link to the enzyme, allowing the processing via the reticulum and the Golgi. These are natural chaperones. They can also connect to misfold protein enzyme to link to the degradation system. And the important point, you have chemical chaperones that are developed by industry that can link to the misfolded enzyme, the abnormal enzyme, and allow a correct folding and allowing a normal synthesis and function of this enzyme. And this is the principle of the treatment with the chaperones, which has been developed for other lysosomal storage disorders like Fabry and Gaucher previously. And again, to summarize, the effect of the pharmacological chaperones, they stabilize the protein and they increase the cellular trafficking and increase the biological effect of the enzyme. For Pompe disease, Amicus use 1-deoxynorgyrymycin chaperone, which has been initially tested in cells, and the initial analysis showed that they could increase enzyme activity from different cell lines, myoblast and fibroblast, And a first trial has been designed 10 years ago, treating the patient with only the chaperones. And unfortunately, in this first trial, the first 2 patients worsened, and probably because there was a negative effect of this chaperone, and the competitive action was negative in this case, and the study was stopped at this moment. And a few years later, we have good news from the Amicus researchers. That was when combining the chaperone with an enzyme therapy, this combination increase the stability of the enzyme, the trafficking and the processing. And these 2 graphs show you, it's a very clear summary of the effect of chaperone, the increase of the concentration of the enzyme when combining with a chaperone by comparison with alglucosidase alone. This was a study combining the chaperone and myozyme. And the effect on the animal showed clear improvement with a combination of both compared with enzyme alone. So on this basis, the current clinical trial have been developed. You can see that Amicus has been very active because you have 12 clinical trials in the site clinicaltrial.gov. I show you the major steps. One study started to show the benefit of the chaperone alone. The other was a drug-drug interaction study showing the increased effect of combining chaperone and the enzyme. And thereafter, this first-in-human study that I will show you briefly the results was the first phase 1/2 study in Pompe patients using the combination of the enzyme and the chaperone protein. And currently, since a few months, there is a phase 3 large study including approximately more than 100 patients, either already treated by enzyme therapy or naive, treated by myozyme and switched to the new treatment. And there is, in addition, an extension study that is already prepared for the end of this multicentric study. So I will briefly show you data that has been shown by Benedict during the last WMS Congress, which are the data of this first-in-human study, which is a phase 1 study. I was not part of this trial, but I follow very carefully, of course, like a lot of colleagues, these results. You can show here the design, which is quite difficult because it's a phase 1 study, including different groups of patients, in order to assess the potential benefit either in naive or already treated patients, the switched patient, but also in non-ambulatory patients. So these are clearly very small groups of patients. It's a phase 1 study, so the aim was the safety and not the benefit. But the first results are quite encouraging. And if we focus on the fourth cohort, the patients in the switch cohort, which will be the case of most of the patients in the PROPEL study, you can see that they are not so severely affected because the mean 6-minute walking test is 300 active 7 and the vital capacity 65, but it's very important because it represents the mean probably of the patient we follow with late onset Pompe disease. And there is an improvement in most of the parameters. The 6-minute walking test improve of 24 meters after there is a variability of duration of treatment. And again, it's a phase 1 study, but the mean improvement was 24 meters, 6% for the vital capacity, and there was also an improvement of the time test and the fatigue severity scale, because when there is a minus, this is an improvement because the score is less severe. And regarding the safety, some patients presented adverse events, either infusion-related reaction or allergic events. This is quite the same that we observe in with the previous ERT. The question that remains is the magnitude of this allergic or IAR, and in such a small cohort, it's very difficult to assess the frequency and to compare with the frequency of adverse events with myozyme. So for sure, it's needed to wait for the larger study. And the conclusion of this first phase 1 study was a tendency to clinical improvement, so clearly pushing toward a larger study. And I will finish with this slide. Now there is an ongoing multicentric international study, the PROPEL study, including few naive and the majority of already treated patients. All the patients, when they are included, are either treated with myozyme or with the next generation ERT plus the chaperone. And in the group with myozyme, the chaperone is a placebo. So it's a little complicated to explain to the patient in particular, because you have to explain that it's a blinded study, but the patient don't have placebo, only for the chaperone, but not for the enzyme. So this is the large question also to inform consent today, when you have several clinical trials. How can you explain clearly to the patient to have a clear choice? But clearly the patients are willing to participate to this study, and currently there is probably the end of the inclusion in the next week. So the inclusion of this trial, and this is a very important point, we are very, very quick, at least in Europe, because it started in US, but when it started in Europe, so it was nearly closed, so we were very, we had to push everybody. And the results of this study will probably should be available in 1 year, because this is a 1-year study before the extension study. And what I would like to raise as a question is that probably we will have the results of the COMET study before, because the COMET study, the inclusion were closed in April, last April, I think. So we can guess that in 1 year we will have the results of both studies with new ERT. And what should we do if both enzymes show a superiority? We can hope that all this trial will be positive, but after this, we should have another trial to compare the new enzyme. So the story will never end, and this is also a good thing for the patient, but this shows also that the doctor should be very well organized, and the collaboration are very important for the future to answer to all these important questions. I will stop here.